Yeah, yeah,
one door for caves,
yeah,
no matter if it's a blended cave or what was the other one?
Excellent.
yeah. The closed cave or the blended. So the blended cave is happy to invite people within your safe space, but to a limit. You know, it's not like you, it sometimes seems to have a connection to, I think it's internal kitchens or something, or so, or
Internal
not
markets.
internal markets. Like if you are the old-fashioned shop owner with your little shop, and people come in, and you sitting with your little jewelry or whatever, or your
With your
food,
back to
whatever,
the
to the
wall.
back of the store, on the counter, and you have all these closed things where all your things are put. That's still markets, but it's uh, what is it? Inside markets, something. So
Internal.
internal markets, but that means that everybody can come in and out. Has to come in and out because
Right.
that's market. Lots of different auras, but case is not lots of different auras. It's either close. It means just you and maybe someone to have sex with or sleep with, or maybe a kid, whatever. But or your family, just that, and even your family is maybe not. So just you and maybe one other person. But blended case is like I'm secure in my home and I want to invite my best friends or a client or someone I trust. But I keep an eye on you because it's still my place and I'm in control and I need to be in control.
You know,
So
go ahead,
go
Lily.
ahead. I just was thinking about your fifth gate, gate five
Mm,
and gate 21. Would another blended
yeah,
case without that, or be collective or individual? Would that their their sense of who they invite in would be a little different? I'm just
yeah, yeah. That's so, it's so vital what you're talking about because nobody knows. We are the people that actually talk about the stuff that Ra never talked about. I mean, there was this guy who was actually a student of Ra. What's his name? Steve something, and he wrote a book. He called it Bantu.
Road.
Yeah,
oh
Steve
no.
Rhodes, and he was the first to actually write about the environments and the motivation and all this stuff. But he sort of really did it from his own mind, and he had the 2461, so it was really, really freaky and very different. So that was sort of colored way. But the first easy, accessible information about the subject, and because what Ra, Ra only shattered information. I mean, I'm a I'm a paying member of my bodygraph, and there's like, if you get to an audio about some environment, or maybe you get 1 minute of audio because it's so shattered. So it's
Yeah.
nobody can bring this stuff together unless they're really deep into human design.
And
And then
living
you
it.
got all the blah blah bullshit from all the people who don't know shit, and they pretend to know because the open minds shout the loudest on the internet. So and then you got people like Tiera who actually go deep, but she doesn't really have a big voice because open throat and no impact and all that. So we are probably one of the few people that actually get to the details of this information, which is so extremely vital because this gets to the actual bottom. The we tend to think that base and tone and color is not important because it's below the surface, but this is actually fucking way more important because this is the foundation. And so it has way more impact than all the stuff on the surface. But we only look at the surface and we know all the stuff about the surface, just like life, the illusion, right? And we know nothing about what really matters. That's really funny that even Ra didn't focus on what really matters. Yeah, because he was like, I live in a fake world, so I focus on the fake and then I make money with it. I don't know what his thought was, but
Well, but he did go into all of that. It's just that you have to go find it. Because how
Yeah.
am
yeah,
I
well,
gonna learn all
and
these?
we
That's
need
how
people like
I.
Gieru who actually have the sitting power to find it. I don't. I have no patience for that. I
Yeah.
need to find it immediately. Like, is it here? No. Oh, fuck it. I have no patience for that.
Well, and it's been such a fascinating journey with you, Jan, because I want to say for 6 years, I looked at your motivation because there was something wrong in
Mhm.
what your birth time said. It didn't fit you,
Yeah.
and you were not interested.
No.
I would talk about it, and you didn't care. You couldn't care less. And then one day, I brought you. I studied you for a long time,
Mhm.
and I talked, and you didn't care because you didn't. It didn't reach you. And then I can remember the feeling in my body when I brought to you, I think this is your motivation, your PHS, your environment, and your view. And it was like something shifted in the whole fabric of reality because
Mhm.
you landed in yourself and I could feel it.
Mhm.
And from that moment, you have walked toward yourself and you have become more and more the incredible, beautiful man that you are. It's been
Mhm.
such a privilege to witness you being who you are, really.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
yeah.
this,
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
be, it should be normal.
Right,
No, I know it's crazy. It should be
right.
normal. Yeah. This should
It's
be,
so interesting to me
yeah.
about the cave, and I'm glad you brought up about the internal markets because I know a couple of people who have internal markets who, is it agoraphobia when you're afraid to go outside? Yeah, that they are afraid to go outside. Whereas when, me as a market person, I live on the street. I mean, I come home to sleep. I don't want to sleep on the street.
Mhm.
Never have had to. Thank you. Thank you, life. I love you. Um, but what's really fascinating to me is that I'm someone who I don't shut doors. I don't shut windows. I mean, unless I'm cold. I don't pull drapes. I keep everything open, 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 and I feel safer that way because I
Hmm.
have a little touch of claustrophobia. It's kind of like the other side of it.
Fine.
My daughter is a cave person, and if it had been just myself with her, I would have brought her up in a situation that would have been really unhealthy for her. But
Hmm.
her dad was a cave person and he kept closing things.
Wow.
I can remember him saying, "No, you can't go to sleep if the closet door is open." I don't give a fuck, but he was strong. It was strong in him that he had to have that. So we had that. And
Wow.
I can remember when Tolly was a little girl, she would go in her room for hours and close the door. I never close the door. I just don't. I don't like being in a closed door room. And thankfully I respected her enough as a person from the minute I met her when she was born that I never went in her room without her permission. But I
Mm.
wanted to because she was in there and there was singing and there was dancing and there was just this creative explosion of herself in there. But she was able to be healthy because her dad had the same environment she did, and it would not have been healthy for her to grow up only with me. And
Mm.
yet, some children, the same, they would have had me, and it wouldn't have been good for them. So much of who we get to be in this life is the luck or the no luck of how we grew up.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's,
Yeah. It's still astonishing to me
Yeah.
giving readings to people and telling them about their openness and the potential not self. And some of them are, yeah, really, yeah, this is, they see how painful it is and they recognize it. And others, like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have these problems. I don't care. I'm cool. Yeah, like, there's so much. You're either traumatized or not. And if you're not traumatized, well, great. But then yesterday there was this lady here. She got a reading as a birthday present because sometimes I have uh, these actions where I've sort of I get for a few bucks you can give a an introduction reading. So she got an introduction reading, and she was sitting here and happy projector, 2-4, cold out, sitting high on her horse, having a good time. And I really like, what do you want? What are you looking for? Go live your life. I have nothing to tell you. I'm here to support people in crisis if they're really in crisis. But so we made fun like, oh, you happy blonde little girl, what are you doing here? Love your life. What do you care? Yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, so fuck it. It's not
I
about
mean,
interesting. It can be either save your life, and if your life doesn't need to be saved, then fuck human design. Who needs it?
well, because that's your perspective, because
That's
your
my
numbers are
perspective.
in
Yeah.
crisis and conflict.
Huh?
So
Yeah.
yeah. So if you're looking out at the world and there's no crisis and no conflict, there's nothing for you to look at.
I'm bored.
Like
Yeah.
I want to look at wealth and art
Yeah.
contribution.
So it should
Yeah,
center
it's
to
so
you. Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Yeah. My view is very limited, I guess, because I have a strategic view when I look at crisis and conflict. So if it's not the right type of conflict or crisis, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, again,
and
it's
and of course I tend to think that's normal, but it's probably not.
Right.
well, it's normal for you. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
and you talked about the nuances and what we were talking about, our own experiences and how different they can be, even though it's the same environment, blah blah blah. But you do have to start in the surface somewhere to dive.
yeah, that's right.
What
Yeah.
Rob, he gave us the ability to go deeper with our own experiments and experience.
Mm, yeah, I also noticed that when I want to tell people about deeper stuff, they don't hear it. It doesn't make sense. For I don't know about you guys, but I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
being this human design for so long, so much to discover, you tend to forget, or I tend to forget that um, it's quite a foundation. I cannot expect someone who just comes in to just point them to
that's the thing.
something deep down that's so profound but so deep. It, they cannot hear it.
No, they can't.
No.
So if you're not the one to take them to that surface first,
Yeah.
then maybe you would know somebody that could do that rather than be
I
bored. Yeah, get frustrated.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that would
can't
be good.
actually
Yeah, I
help
should do
myself.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I
But
should.
I think that maybe the bridge point is variable because particularly for people who have right variables. People who
Yeah, for
have
them. Yeah,
strategic
but then it's more
variables,
like
it's harder
you're
for them to
okay.
see it because it's
Yeah.
the norm of what
Yeah.
we think is the norm.
Yeah.
But if you have someone that has a receptive mind or they're passive in the environment and the right brain, all of this, then they can get a tremendous amount of relief because they've been judged. They've been told they're lazy. Like I was talking in last week in the class, it's like, I like owning the words that used to be things that were demeaning about me. I am lazy.
Me
Unless I'm
too. I
walking,
love
even the
saying
way I
it.
walk around is lazy. I don't hurry. I don't like hurrying. Hurrying is stressful. I can do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. But this is also human design. I mean, human design has no judgment. What
Exactly.
for us is just a beautiful
Exactly.
description of a personal quality is in the outside world. Like you cannot say that it's ugly, it's bad. It's like if I tell people with the 4323 lovingly a freak.
Yeah, me
Always
too.
forget that is not a compliment. For me, it's a compliment because it means you're different. You can bring inspiration. You don't get fucked by all the collective bullshit. You're really someone to bring a very different, structured way of looking at the world. But of course, to most people, that's like I'm offending them. Yeah, and that's yeah like it's sometimes hard to get back to what the word actually means for most people if you see the potential beauty of it, even like corruption. I can see the beauty of corruption, because as a tribal guy in a collective ruled world, corruption is the only way to be not seen as a number, because you're different, you know? You're like everybody gets the same rules, but you're a little extra special. So you get a little extra something. That's corruption. And of course, if that rules, that is really fucked up. But within a cold, anonymized system, it's actually very human. Yeah, but most people
I
don't think
really,
it
I really
like
like
that. Huh?
the, I really like the keynotes that shock us a little bit. You know, like you're saying, like corruption or bigotry. I love bigotry. I have a lot of twos, like Lily, you have a lot of two lines. I have a lot of twos beneath the line, so they don't show always on the surface.
Yeah,
But the two is a bigot. It's like saying, no, not that, not that, not that, not that, not that, no, no, no. That's bigotry. It doesn't want everything. It wants only very little tiny swath of what's
yeah.
correct for it, of what's natural for it.
It's
And so I
actually,
like using those words
yeah.
because it shocks me out of my homogenized value system.
It's maybe the keynote of human design.
Yeah.
Discernment,
Yeah.
especially for projectors.
No shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The other
I
thing
know
I've been looking, go ahead, Lily.
it's just the keynotes, how they carry a certain frequency, which
Yeah.
does shatter the old
Right, right.
limited.
One of the things I'm looking more and more into is the detriments, because the word sounds bad. Detriment sounds like a problem. But really the neutrality of it, and this is me with a power view, so this is cool. Because I studied astrology for a long time, there are certain signs that certain planets are at ease in, and that would be the exaltation or where they feel at home. And other signs that they don't feel at home in. So the easy one to understand is like the moon, which the keynotes for the moon are often nurturing and home and stuff like that in astrology. And so it feels very comfortable if it's in Cancer, which also has the keynotes of home and nurturer and all of that. But then if you put the moon, for example, in Aries, which is the warrior and the fiery nature, we're going to look at that person and think they're supposed to be nurturing and making a home for me, but they're out fighting the proletariat. We're going to call it a detriment. But really, it's just a non-homogenized view of how to use that planet. And so I'm working with how can I take a look at these detriments in human design and see what the gift is instead of seeing what the problem is.
Yeah, yeah, it's very important.
Because it's so easy to say, God, I have detriments. They're so hard.
Yeah,
Poor.
yeah, and to judge it, you know, if you see it in someone's chart, he
Exactly.
has a detriment. Oh, that's where you are an asshole or whatever.
Right.
You only care about yourself or whatever. And it's just the other side of the coin, which is not necessarily bad, because like if we, especially for me as a cave guy, if there would be only day and no secret dark places where I could hide, I would not be happy, you know, like animals that like to hide under stones, they would not like to be in the sunlight all day long. They would die.
Right.
So it's the detriment is just the other side. It's not bad.
Well, like I have a detriment that actually I have Venus in Libra, which if you know astrology, that's good. That's where Venus loves being. It's all everything groovy. But it's in my gate 46. And because I have the gate 29 connected to the 46, I have the whole channel, and the 29 is in Pluto, it means that in the weirdest way possible, my 46 is in detriment because it's connected to Pluto. So Venus and Libra would both be kind of surfacey. They like beauty, they like art, they like balance, okay? Both of them. Pluto doesn't give a fuck. Pluto wants to go down deep to the truth.
Hmm.
And so my channel of discovery is going deep into the truth. And because I can be so deep in it, I don't notice anybody else. And the detriment is called biting the hand that feeds you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so involved in the depth of the truth of my discovery that I don't even realize that I'm staying in this home that Ali has provided for me in Madrid. I am now because I'm aware of it because people got mad at me so much.
Mm.
And so now I've become aware to be thankful and to be openly appreciative and to take a look around. But the most natural thing in the world for me is to just be deep. Deep, where is the truth of my discovery? How can I find it? Bring me deep. And that doesn't have to do with, oh, you made me lunch. That's so nice of you. Especially because I don't eat lunch, you know, and now I'm supposed to thank someone for something I don't want. But yeah, so there is a way to be with people that I am learning, you know, to offset this natural thing in me, but it doesn't mean I have to make myself wrong for having it
Mhm.
because it is my design.
I'm full now. I'm full now. So I don't want to extend this now.
Yeah,
This was beautiful. Thank you,
yeah, same for me.
Vivian, Tiera.
Thank you, Jan.
I'll see you very shortly.
See you in Portugal. I hope. I mean, we'll see 5 minutes of each other, but we'll see. Maybe you'll want to walk around because your body
Well,
wants.
I intend to see you because
I know, of course.
otherwise there will be.
Did you find a place near to my place?
I've not